nothing about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth.
What?
You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
As it is written, the truth is sitting inside of a simple mind of a holy nation that doesn't know that they're divine. So let us take this time to run the line on the future. Prophecy of how the devil seduced you. There's more religions than there are pigeon dung, but none of these religions can tell you where you truly come from. This message is for the ones they call minority in the USA ghettos up under Satan's authority. The vast majority of my people don't have the true knowledge and understanding of the Bible, that they're the Jews.
Shalom, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Hidden Truth Cable Show. I'm Priest Quatazop. We have Priest Kazakia. We have Priest and Reader Zionala.
Shalom.
We are the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday, 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. Okay, if you're local in Houston, please come down and join us. You can also catch us live on YouTube at ISBHPK. Okay, make sure you please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You could also catch us live on Facebook under the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. Okay, so for today's topic, we're going to be touching on the 6 unknown facts of Satan. So we're going to open it up today with Priest Kazakia.
Right. So exactly, the 6 unknown facts about Satan. A lot of discrepancies, right? When we talk about Satan,
Right.
We're going to find that out and clarify all these inconsistencies that religion, Christianity have, misconstrued.
Right. They
Right.
put a lot of lies out, a lot of things that are not biblical.
Right.
So we're going to be able to go through scripturally and show what the Bible says, the truth of the Bible.
Right. Right.
Perfect.
So starting out with number 1, okay.
All right.
The number 1 fact, okay, that's unknown by a lot of Christians about Satan is that
It's a good one.
okay, Satan was in the garden and it wasn't an actual snake.
So you're saying that he wasn't a snake?
Satan wasn't a physical animal, snake, rolling on the ground, right?
Right.
And as you see, when we put up the images, or if you look out there, you see the images with the snake going around the tree and then the apple.
Coiled around the apple.
Right. And with Adam and Eve. But that's one lie that we have to destroy.
Perfect.
So we're going to go to first of all, we're going to go to Genesis 3, verse 1. Let's start from there.
3 and verse 1.
Right. Genesis 3, verse 1. Come on.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right. Now, this is where the people don't know that the Bible speaks through symbolism. So a lot of times when you read through Genesis and you read about the trees, you read about the beast of the field, you read about the serpent,
Right.
you're thinking, oh, it's an actual snake. You're thinking it was just only Adam and Eve and a snake in this garden. Now, we're not going over the whole Genesis 3 breakdown.
Okay.
This show is to spark the minds of a lot of brothers and sisters that, and a lot of people that don't actually read the Bible and that heard that it was a snake.
Right.
It was an apple.
Right.
Right. So if you do want to check out the full information, you can go to ISBHPK or Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge and get the full Genesis 3 breakdown. Okay?
Perfect.
But right now we're showing that Satan was in the Garden of Eden. Okay.
Okay.
And he was the snake.
He was the snake.
He was the snake.
So Eve wasn't talking to a physical snake slithering.
No.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
So read it one more time.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1.
Right.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now, if we go just to the basic definition of serpent, okay, and anybody can Google this.
Right.
This is the internet age.
Right.
If you go to serpent, what do you have?
It says a sly or treacherous person.
Right. A sly or treacherous person. Now, we didn't read the other definition because we all know that a snake is a snake.
Right.
You go to the garden, you can get bit by him,
Right.
or you can see him playing in your garden and you probably have to throw it out. So you got
Right.
dangerous snakes, but then you have just garden snakes.
Right.
We're not talking about that. The Bible's not talking about that.
So the way the Bible is describing this man, he's characterizing him. The
Right.
Bible characterized this man in this way as a serpent.
Right.
So that's the symbolism of the Bible speaking to us
Right.
through symbolism.
Right. And I like how you loosely use man, because really we're dealing with an angelic being in his high glory and high power that is what?
A sly or treacherous person.
Right. So this being was moving in the spirit of being sly and treacherous.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Just like if we say, oh man, that cat right there, man, he's a snake.
Right.
That cat right there, man, don't trust him. Why? He think he's slick. He's sly.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right.
We still use those terms
still use
these
that.
days, right?
Yeah.
He's a snake. Go ahead.
Especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it.
Right. Now, I would love to go over the whole Genesis 3, but he's telling us exactly what the serpent, the adversary, the devil, Satan, this angelic power, what he did to Eve. He exploited her.
Using his position of power.
Using his position of power.
Perfect.
And we're going to get down in that when we go into the other facts about
Right.
Satan. But we have to understand this angelic being was a sly, slick, crafty, cunning man.
Right. And this is a beautiful point to start out with, because if you don't get this part,
Yeah.
the rest of the Bible is almost just a mystery.
Right.
If you don't understand that this wasn't a snake talking to a woman,
Right.
you'll be lost throughout the rest of the scriptures. So this is beautiful.
And this is why Christ said, I speak to you in parables. Excuse me, I speak to them in parables.
Right.
Right, because the Bible is written in parable form. So, you hear scriptures like, the man is like a tree planted by the rivers of living water.
Right.
You hear that,
Psalms, right?
You hear
I see men as trees walking.
in the garden, right? I
Right.
see men as trees walking in the garden. So
Right.
there's a lot of symbolism in the Bible. And if you don't understand that starting with Genesis 1,
Yeah.
then you're going to get lost in understanding all the symbolism through the Bible.
Right.
Because it's concurrent and keeps going over and over from old to new.
Right. Right.
Okay? So now we're understanding about this serpent. Okay, he was a slick, sly, what did it say?
It says a sly or treacherous person.
A sly or treacherous person. And this is why we got to watch out for Satan, because he's a sly and treacherous being.
Right.
Okay? So how do we know that the serpent was actually Satan? So we go right to the Bible. Let's go to the next scripture. Go to Revelations. Go to Revelations 12, verse 9. And this is where the confusion comes from, is we have to understand, the people have to understand that the way to read the Bible and to get understanding, it's very simple. You have to have precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Okay? You have to understand that. And a lot of people don't know how to read the Bible. They don't go from the old to the new. It all agrees with each other. There's nothing that is supposed to confuse you. But if it's not agreeing, then there's the confusion. So let's see the agreeing and how we know that it wasn't a actual serpent. Okay, go ahead and read.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And the great dragon was cast out.
Right. Now, this is future prophecy. This is it. It says the great dragon was cast out. Now, all a dragon is a big serpent.
Right.
Okay, so this dragon is going to be cast out. It's talking in two levels. It's talking about the physical kingdom of the dragon, all right, which is ruling on this earth.
Right.
And it's also talking about the spiritual. That is, we're going to read about that guy, that serpent in the past,
Right.
is going to define how many names this guy got. Because this is just one name for him. Serpent is just one characteristics that define this being.
Right.
And what way he came in. Okay? So go ahead and read that.
And the great dragon was cast out.
Right?
The old serpent.
Wait a minute. So the dragon was the who?
That old serpent.
So the dragon was the old serpent. What serpent? We know because it just said the serpent in the garden, 3:1, let's read it again. I'll read it. The serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Right? So what serpent are we talking about? There ain't no other old serpent but the one.
Right.
Okay? So read it again in Revelations.
Revelations 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out.
Right?
That old serpent.
Right. So now we're understanding that a dragon is just a big serpent. Okay? And we know serpent is a slick, sly, cunning, crafty, deceitful person. Right?
And that same serpent from Genesis is the same serpent of Revelation.
It's the same dragon.
It's the same dragon,
Right?
same devil.
We're going to go there, though. Let him read through it.
Right.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Called the devil.
Called the what?
The devil.
So the dragon, which is the serpent, which is the devil. So now we're understanding that when Eve talked with this angelic being, okay, it wasn't an actual snake. It was actually the devil. Now, devil, you think that devil means he had a pitchfork, and horns, and he was red, right?
Right.
But we're going to get, as we go through these facts, you're going to see that that's not truth.
And that's the church Christian teaching.
Right.
That's the belief. He's a red man.
Right.
Horns, pitchfork. You know, he's under the earth.
Right. And you look at the images of Baphomet.
Right.
You're thinking that's the devil, right?
Right.
Right. Well, that's the problem, that we've been taught so many lies through Christianity that we think that the serpent, right? The serpent was an actual snake. So now we're finding out that's not true. That the serpent was also known as the dragon and the devil. Devil only means evil deceiver. Because what did he do? He deceived Eve.
Right.
Okay? So now we're getting three out of the way. The dragon, the serpent, the devil, and one more. Go ahead.
And Satan.
And what?
Satan.
And what?
Satan.
And Satan. So now we're
Perfect.
understanding he's known as the dragon, which was the old serpent, which was the devil, the evil deceiver, which was Satan. So this is the same entity that was in the beginning. It was not a snake.
Perfect. And he's also not a goat. Like how they depict him as a goat also, right?
Right.
That Baphomet.
Yeah, the Baphomet.
When he's holding up the fingers and doing all that stuff. So we're getting through the scriptures to see that it's a man.
Right. It is a man.
But
It is a angelic entity.
being, right?
Yeah, angelic being.
Right.
So that's number one of these 6 facts that we want to get out of the way. But the thing is that it leads us into number 2.
Right. And what is that second fact?
The second fact is that he was a high level angelic being. Okay?
Okay.
He was a high level angelic being. Okay? And that he did not look like a entity with pitchfork and horns.
He wasn't red.
He wasn't red. We're going to prove that. Okay? So these facts, a lot of people don't know these things. They're scared of the boogeyman, and they don't understand that, first of all, angelic beings can transform and change into any characteristic, anything, any creature. Now, could he have? Yes, he could have. He could have changed into a red guy with horns and pitchfork. But that's not what the Bible says.
Right, right.
Because he had, when you read in Ezekiel 1, it said there was angels that transform into, they had different likenesses. Lions, the eagles, right?
A man's face.
A man's face, right? Because they were men, but they transfigured and changed as they would.
Right.
Even when you go to Hebrews, the Bible tells us, watch it.
Be not forgetful to entertain strangers.
Right.
As many have entertained angels
and
unawares.
So angelic beings can come and transfigure and change into anything they want.
I suppose I could have gone this way. But it's so trick or treat.
It's true. You really are the devil.
Right. So, you know, when you got a whole community of people that think that they're green, they're little small aliens.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
Well, it's something that is used to torture them, right, and to scare them.
Right.
Right. For whatever reason, Lord knows. Right.
Right.
All right. So we got that out of the way. Going into fact number 2, go to 2 Corinthians 11:3. So these facts, man, a lot of people is gonna really gain a lot of understanding just about Genesis. And like I said, if they want the full understanding of every verse through Genesis, then they'll go and get the breakdown at Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. All right, so go ahead and read that, 2 Corinthians 11, verse 3.
But I fear, at least by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve.
As the who?
As the serpent beguiled Eve.
Okay, so the serpent tricked Eve, okay? And that's what his job was. He was the evil deceiver.
Right.
Right? Satan means adversary. We missed that. Satan means adversary.
And it looks like all the different definitions for this angel are all negative.
Yeah.
Negative attributes against the children of Israel.
Yeah.
And against the world as a whole.
Yeah, the world as a whole.
So.
Right, because, I mean, talking about that, many had to take hold on that demonic spirit and start to love it and like it.
And then promote it.
And promote it.
And use it.
And use it.
Yeah.
So what makes the righteous righteous and the wicked wicked? We obviously we can go into another topic.
Right.
Because they choose that. They love it. They like it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, 2 Corinthians 11:3. Go ahead and read it again.
But I fear, least by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety.
Right. Satan is very subtle. He's very crafty, cunning, deceitful. Ergo, Satan, the adversary, the enemy, the devil, right? The dragon.
The deceiver.
The deceiver, right? He's the enemy, right? And he knows how to beguile and to trick you, okay? Go ahead.
So your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ.
Right. And you know how this is so beautiful because it links in together with the point in Genesis. Like, it's very simple.
Right.
But the thing is that we don't read the Bible. We don't go from the old to the new. We were taught the old has nothing to do with the new. The old is no more.
Right.
And these are the things that are not giving our people the understanding of the Bible.
And I think what it is the fact that we were told that it was a snake talking in the garden. You know, what that does for a lot of people's psyche.
Right.
Like, I don't want to read that. It's a comic book. It's a fairy tale.
Exactly.
So we automatically dismiss it.
Right.
Because of the way we've been taught.
Right.
But now that we can get the true understanding, and you're able to link up the precepts like we quoted Isaiah line upon line, here a little, there a little.
Right.
Now you get like you said, the true full understanding of what the Most High intended us to learn.
Yeah, because you can't find nowhere where it says an apple.
Right. That's another thing.
That's another thing.
I've seen
when
photos.
We go over the facts about Genesis.
Right. No, I've seen photos with a snake
in an apple
wrapped around the apple, as if those two things is what got the world into chaos.
Right. No.
Where it doesn't say, it tells you about the tree.
Right. And it tells you the fruit of the tree.
Fruit of the tree.
But it don't say apple. But these misconceptions are the ones that, like you said, they deter us from the Bible.
Right.
Right. They deter a lot of believers, a lot of people that don't believe and are going to hear the word. They don't want to deal with it because the fairy tales that Christianity has taught us.
Yeah.
Okay. So go. Did you finish that?
Yes, sir.
2 Corinthians 11:3. Let's go. So now we're understanding that serpent that beguiled Eve, okay, corrupted Eve, that serpent, right? Which was also known as the devil, Satan, right? And the dragon, right? Okay, go to 2 Corinthians 11, verse 14. So let's understand, how did he come, right? How did he beguile Eve? He beguiled her through the simplicity, but also, how did he come? Was he scary? Was he like a big snake? Was he like a big dragon? No.
Right.
How did he get her?
us.
Go ahead and read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14.
Go ahead.
And no marvel.
Right.
For Satan himself
Right.
is transformed into an angel of light.
Right, wait a minute. What context and why is that even significant? Why are we talking about Satan and how he transformed? Because it's a reminder to the prophets that as Eve was beguiled, okay, and
Right.
tricked, how was she tricked? Listen, if a big snake came to you,
Yeah, you're not gonna stick around.
right, you're not
You're not gonna stay there.
you're not gonna stay there. Ain't no animals talking. Ain't no animals talking to you.
Right.
There was no animals in the garden running around and talking. Right? I know we were taught we come from monkeys, which is madness, but no animals were talking in the Garden of Eden. Okay?
Right. It's like they engrafted the Bible into the Jungle Book.
Right.
Because that's what it is. You got the
exactly
talking
what it is.
bear, you got the snake, you got the all the other animals that were
Right.
talking. Because that's the first thing that comes to mind
Yeah.
is, wait a minute, that's the Jungle Book.
Cartoon.
Cartoons, man.
No, but actually Satan himself did what?
Transformed into an angel of light.
Yeah, see, the way for her to be deceived, for the simplicity of thou don't do this, don't do that.
Right.
I mean, what's more simple than thou shall not? Right?
Nothing.
Nothing, right?
Right.
So what took her from that simplicity was the beauty of this angelic being, and he transformed into a what?
Angel of light.
Right. So he put on his glory and this holy light around him. And that's why Paul came back and said, listen, what shall separate us from the love of God? Right? Shall life, shall death? Then he comes down and said, shall angels,
Right. Yeah.
principalities, shall powers, shall rulers, right? Because a lot of angels come and try to deceive us, right, in different forms.
And not just through the look either, through their wisdom. Because he
Right.
came with that subtle, crafty, I'm going to ask you a question on the back end. I know
Right.
the answer, but I want to see what you know.
Yep.
So he came with the beauty and the wisdom.
Right. He came with the beauty and
Oh.
wisdom. So fact number 2 is that Satan didn't come as a ghoul. He didn't come as a big goblin. He actually came as an angel of light that was wise and beautiful
Yeah.
and smart.
Smart.
Right?
Yeah, handsome.
Right. That's how he came. So read it one more time just to get that point out.
man.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Right. So Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And that's why we got to beware, because many try to transform themselves like Satan into angels of light. So this is what Paul, Peter, the apostles constantly warned us of. Christ, Yahweh Shai, constantly warned us and said, he said, many shall come in my name, saying I'm Christ, and deceive many.
Yeah.
So watch out for these cats, right? So this is fact number 2, okay? Now let's go to fact number 3.
So fact number 3, I'll take over. And so fact number 3, we're going to go into about Satan not really being cast out of heaven. Because the teaching is what? He lives
Satan
under
was
the earth.
cast out of heaven.
He's cast out of heaven.
Right.
He lives under the earth. Again, red man, pitchfork.
Right.
So we're going to go through.
I like how you brought that out. You said he lives under the earth.
Like he lives there. Like that's his domain.
Right, that he's not in the spiritual realm. Like if we go
Right.
further into the earth, that Satan
We'll
is
find
gonna be-
Satan. No, we got to understand that if we're going through it the way
Right.
we are and showing that he's a angelic being, then he has to dwell not in an earthly form,
Right.
not on the earth,
Right.
but in that angelic form. So from there, let's go to Job 1 and 7.
Right.
Let's go to Job 1 and 7 to show that Satan was never cast out of heaven.
Job chapter 1 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan,
Go ahead.
Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth.
From doing what?
Going to and fro in the earth.
Now, is that saying going to and fro in the earth, in the bottom of the earth? Is that saying, oh, I'm running around underneath the pavement?
It couldn't be, because first we're understanding this day is when the sons of God came to present themselves to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that right now it's in the presence of God. He dwells in the heavens.
Right.
Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. So what the misconception is that Satan was cast out unto the bottom of the earth. They don't understand that Satan wasn't cast out in that sense. He was demoted.
Right. He was no longer that higher upper echelon.
He can no longer be in that presence. You're demoted to janitor duty.
Causing havoc.
Right. You're demoted to the spirit you came in, which is
Right.
evil, deceptive, sly, and crafty.
Right.
So then that's going to be your job. Your job is now to dwell in the realm that controls those spirits.
Right.
So he wasn't like thrown down and then he's running rampant. We know that because, read it again.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou?
Right.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth.
Why didn't they start throwing lightning beams and an X-Men war going on here? Why is Satan answering him if they're warring?
They're at war.
They're at war at this time. They're not.
If he was cast out in a way where they were fighting, they're fighting each
Right.
other, and there's a war and a battle.
Right.
Right. They should be doing the X-Men thing like you just said.
Fighting each other. But no, he was cast out in the sense of he was demoted to a lower level.
Right.
Now his job is to dwell in this hell realm and do those works.
And deal with those spirits.
So now we see fact number 3, that Satan was never cast out of heaven the way that they say.
Right. Because
Okay.
that would make him be, he would just be one earthly being if that was the case.
Right. He's cast
spirit.
out into the middle of the ground of the earth.
Right.
And he can never come up
out.
before the Lord. That's
Right.
a lie. We just read it.
We just read it. Right. And as we go into the next point,
Yeah.
it's going to further show us that
Right.
he comes amongst the Most High. He comes amongst the Lord, because the fourth point is that Satan
Right.
counsels
There you go.
amongst the gods. Right? So let's go to Psalms 82 and verse 1.
Right.
Psalms 82 and verse 1. Go ahead and read that for me.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty.
Go ahead.
He judgeth among the gods.
Judgeth among the powers.
So
Satan-
where did Satan meet God at?
In the council.
In the council.
In the council.
So where's Satan had to go present himself?
In a council.
In the council.
Go from there.
He judges amongst the gods. We got to throw the Hebrew word God up there, Alahims, which mean powers.
Right.
Right? So he judges amongst these angels.
See, a lot of people don't understand that. A
No.
lot of people think that Satan is just a lone rogue.
He's
entity.
a lone wolf
Yeah,
doing his own
doing his
thing.
own bidding.
Yeah.
Like when it says I'm going up and down the earth and going to and fro in it.
Right.
They don't realize that he's taking orders. He's counseling
He's now
about
reporting.
what he's doing. He's reporting.
He's reporting.
Yeah, what are you doing, Satan? Well,
Right.
I'm walking up and down the earth like you commanded me to.
Right.
People think that he's this lone wolf, this lone ranger. He's the renegade, right? The cobra.
Right. And that's why we jump to the 6th verse, Job 1 and 6.
Go to
Job chapter 1 and verse 6.
Right.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
Right.
And Satan came also.
Wait, who was there?
And Satan came.
Now, why would Satan come? Again, if there's supposed to be this big fight and war between the Most High, Christ, and Satan, what did he come to do? Read.
And he also came among them. And the Lord said unto Satan.
Wait, he didn't throw a blow?
And the Lord said unto Satan.
So they start talking it out.
Right.
They start counseling.
So fact number 4, Satan actually sits amongst the gods and takes orders from God. They don't know this. A lot of people don't understand that Satan takes orders from God.
Right. Literally controlled by the Most High. Satan is controlled by the Most High.
There you go.
He's no different than the righteous angels that are controlled by the Most High. Go ahead, read on.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
good. It's good because a lot of people that don't understand, this should be really putting their mind on a different level of thinking just on how the Bible is written and the things that are hid.
Right.
When you go to church, you know, when you do your Bible study, a lot of things that you don't see.
Right, because now there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Now, if you go to Job and you read Job 1 on down, I mean, if you read Job 1, 2, and 3, those beginning chapters, you start to see that the Lord, every step of the way, controls Satan.
Right.
Right? He tells him, have you considered my servant? And you can, and we're going to go into it. I don't want to jump ahead. We're going to get into that part. So where are we at now?
So from there, go to 1 Kings 22 and verse 19.
To further prove that Satan and his evil angels sit in the presence of the Most High. And they're getting orders. They're getting direction. Read that.
1 Kings chapter 22 and verse 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand.
And all the what?
And his host standing by him on his right hand and on his left.
Right. So Satan is part of that host.
Right.
Satan is part of those angelic beings, left or right.
Right.
Well, we know he's on the left hand.
Right. Because it says Christ sits on his right hand.
Right.
Right. So these other spirits are on their left.
hand. That's that balance that we have to have. The Most High doesn't like an unjust balance.
Right.
Read on.
And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramagild?
Right. And you know what's beautiful about this? That the Most High is giving us a look into the angelic high supreme councils.
Right. Who's
amongst the gods.
Yeah. That's real.
So
That's real.
If we want to read Job and we look at Job and it said Satan came amongst him, he was amongst the sons of God, and Satan came amongst them. Now Kings is getting more direct, and you're able to see this council, right?
Right.
With the angelic beings on the right and the left, and Satan and these spirits, evil spirits, amongst them.
And you know I like it because it shows you that there's nothing left to chance when it comes to us here on earth. It's not a chance encounter. Anything that happens, whether it be good or bad,
Right.
It's talked about, it's counseled about,
Right.
To the degree of it's either the Yahweh Shai or it's either Satan that's doing the bidding for the Most High.
And I mean, I'm sure we can go on this the whole time.
Oh yeah.
You know, Satan is the accuser.
Right.
He's the prosecution.
Right.
Christ is the defendant.
Christ is the defense. Right.
And the Most High is the judge.
And the Most High is the judge. And this is why the Bible says all things that are bound in earth are bound in heaven, and vice versa, because now you see that where do they get this from in their court system? Now, we know that this judicial system is corrupt, is evil, is wicked, okay? Because they're not about justice, they're not about peace, they're not about righteousness. They make you swear on the Bible, but yet and still they don't uphold to the facts and laws of the Bible, right? We know that. But at the same time, if you look at how things are done, this comes from the spiritual realm.
Oh, yeah.
Even when you got the law, the lawyers, Loya, Levi, this goes back to the Bible. It don't go back to, remember, the so-called white man doesn't have, he didn't have the knowledge how to run a government, run a kingdom righteously. And you can see that by the decay of his kingdom, by the decay of his society, because this ain't the Most High society. This is ran by the wisdom and knowledge of the devil.
Of the wicked,
Right. through the wicked,
Right.
the wicked seed.
Right.
So we're just seeing that all these things are played out in the Bible, and the Most High is giving us the information, but it's being hid from us because religion has hidden these things. So this is the fourth fact, right?
This is the fourth fact.
The fourth fact, we're continuing.
Showing that Satan counsels with the Most High.
That he dwells amongst the gods.
Amongst the gods.
Where God judges, where the Most High God judges, Satan is still there, coming and answer. He got to give a report.
Right.
You got to answer for his doings.
He's got to. Where you coming from? I was doing this, doing what you commanded me.
Yep.
Okay. Doing what my job is, which is to go accuse, and then come and bring it to your face and try to get the righteous destroyed.
Yeah. That's what people don't realize.
That's what he did to Job.
That's what he did to Job. That's what he did to Eve.
Right.
At the end of the day.
That's what he did to Eve.
She fell for it.
Right. And that's where it started.
That's where it started.
And that's why he was taken out of his power. Go ahead.
And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner.
Right.
And there came forth a spirit,
right,
and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith?
Right.
And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit.
I'll be a what?
A lying spirit.
Now we know that lying, that's of the devil.
Right.
That lying spirit, it tells you a liar can't attain to wisdom.
Right.
So that spirit, we know that's a satanic. That's the same spirit that Satan came to Eve with.
Right.
He subtly lied to her to take her out of that position that she was in.
Right.
So we know that spirit is not of the Most High as far as Yahweh Shai's side.
Right.
That came from the left hand.
Right. They came from the left hand. And what are they doing? They're doing their job.
Yeah.
They're doing their job. They're slick, sly, crafty, cunning, and deceitful.
Deceitful.
But let's get it all clear. Satan can't make you do nothing. And Satan didn't make these prophets do nothing. All they did was just speak it, and that thought, that love of that individual goes to what it likes. Mm-hmm. So we see there's a lot of things we can go into in talking about this, but we got to understand, even in this angelic supreme council, the Most High is still giving you free will.
God.
He is giving you free will. So he's not going to make these prophets go sin.
Right.
That was their choice.
That was what they like.
A man shall cling to his like.
Right. The scriptures say you're drawn away when you're drawn away through your own lust.
Yeah.
So all Satan does is put it out there, just like he did with Eve. Mm-hmm. Right? He was just he took her from the simplicity. Right? You look at these prophets, what they were supposed to do.
They weren't supposed to fall to this.
They were supposed to obey the commandments of the Most High.
Right.
Right? Obey the commandments that was coming from the Most High. So what's going out right now from the spiritual realm, they still have a choice to follow that.
Right.
Or not. Right. Go ahead.
Thou shalt I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. Mm-hmm. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so.
Wait, do what?
Go forth and do so.
See how Satan takes those orders.
Right.
Go forth and do it.
Right.
He presented himself to do his job. Go forth and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it on there?
Yes.
Or
right.
did we need to read down? That was it?
No, that was it. That was it. And that leads us to number 5. That leads us to number 5.
Right.
Which is, say he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing of his own power. All right, so if it wasn't clear in number 4, right? Because number 4 was he's in the angelic council.
Right.
That he still is coming and presenting himself amongst the gods. Number 5 is that Satan can't do anything of his own. He still has a leash on him, right?
Yeah, this ain't Rogue Nation. This ain't do as thou wilt.
Right.
This is not that type of party.
Nah. There's order. There's still order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even though the Bible says the Most High charges his angels with folly,
He does say that.
he still he still whoops them in order and makes sure they follow the path of what he tells them to do. Okay? So let's go into that. Where are we at? Ecclesiastes 39, verse 28. So yeah, so let's show that these spirits, because we just read in Kings,
Right, First King.
right, that in this angelic council, that these spirits were going to go out and they're taking orders.
Right.
Right. Now let's see how they take orders. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 28.
Go ahead.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
We just read that. You go back to Job. We understand that. Job lost his family, his house,
Right.
his kids,
Riches, count.
riches,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's spirits that are created for vengeance.
Yep.
These spirits we read in Kings were going to be a lying spirit and go out and deceive these prophets.
Right.
See, these are the things that we're not being told in church. These are the things that we're not being told in religion.
We're never given the balance. That's
Right.
the problem. We're always given just one side. We're always given, God loves, Jesus is love. We know that.
Right,
But what about the other side where Satan hates
right,
and accuses and tries to
Right.
bring you down, and that he doesn't do it by his own will?
right,
We're never taught that.
right.
We're always taught.
Well, you got to be clear on what you're saying. He accuses because that's his job.
his job.
But to complete his mission to destroy you, he has a leash on him.
Yeah, he can't just kill you,
He can't just destroy you.
but he can do.
We know that according to Job,
Right.
that when we're going to go there, we're going
Okay.
to go there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
Read that.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Right? So we know that these spirits, these angels, these angelic beings, they lay on sore strokes. Whoops, danger, punishment, right? It's going to tell us. Go ahead.
In the time of destruction,
Uh-huh.
they pour out their force.
So when we look at the fires going on in California right now,
Right.
right? This is Satan's job. It's his job to destroy. But how can he touch you? How can he get a hold of you? You got to be doing something wicked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Most High said to the righteous, he does what? He gives his angels charge over you, lest I dash thy foot against the stone, right?
Yes, sir.
But the wicked, they fall into mischief,
Right.
right? It says they know not where they stumble, right?
Right.
Right.
So what's going on here is that the fires, the pestilence, the earthquakes, the famine, the death, all these things that's going on throughout the world. You were telling me today they're shooting missiles over in
Gaza.
Gaza,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Why? Because the Most High is not what Gaza.
Right. He's not. Our
He's not-
people are not there. The true worshipers are not in that land. They're not in their land.
There you go. So why is the Most High doing that? Why is the rapper The Game telling Will Smith, hey, if you guys need help with your house in Calabasas, let me know. Why? Because the Most High is going through all these rich and burning up their house,
Yeah.
burning up their houses, burning up their riches. That's why he said, hardly can a rich man enter into the kingdom of the Most High. We know nothing is impossible, but hardly, it's a hard thing. Why? Because all their riches, they're corrupted by.
Yeah. That's where they put their heart.
That's where they put their heart.
In their riches. The Most High is showing that it's going to be corrupted.
Right.
And Satan is going to be the one to come through and corrupt whatever you
Yep.
hold dear other than me.
That's why Satan can take it away,
Yeah.
because it's his.
It is.
Satan can take it away because it's
cold.
his.
Yeah, and they don't
But
see that.
you can't take away the things that are given to the righteous.
Spirit.
It says they abound and they endure. Right? You can't touch the house of the righteous. But the wicked house can be overthrown.
Yeah.
You see this?
Yeah.
So this is how we know that Satan is running through and doing his job, because this is his kingdom on earth. Y'all get this?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
And that's going to take us into number 6, right? that this is his kingdom.
We actually got to.
But I know we still got more though.
Oh,
we still got more. Come on,
Okay.
read on.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
Right. So what number are we on?
We're still on number.
We're still on number 5,
Number
right?
5, right.
So they appeased the wrath that made him. So going back to Kings, going back to Job, let's think about it. Satan is appeasing the wrath of him that made him. Why? Because, or when it comes to the wicked, he's appeasing. But when it comes to the righteous, he's showing all the angels and all the holy powers that the Most High has set up that Job is righteous, that he have not yet been to wickedness. So all the there was the example.
It's an example 2 ways.
Right. It's an example to show, oh yeah, this person's wicked. He loves wickedness.
And this is his payment.
This is his payment for
revenge.
wickedness.
But this man was righteous, but even though I touch him, I'm not going to destroy him.
Right. So now we're understanding why all these things befall, mankind.
Right.
Because it shows what you are, right?
Yeah.
What you love, what you hate, what you desire. So this is the thing that we're learning about Satan. You know, we know these facts are coming out through the scriptures. And the thing is that we're not being told these things.
That's why our people are so
quick to give in and to bow to Satan.
Yeah, that's why it's so easy, because you're not told that. Yeah,
you're dealing with Satan.
That's who you deal with when you bow to certain industries and you do the
Matthew 4.
Thing.
When Satan took him up and said, "Listen, all these things I will give you if you bow and worship me."
Right.
They're not understanding that this is Satan's time.
Fire and hell.
Right? So fire and hell. These are all utensils that Satan uses to destroy. Right? So they are correct in saying, "Oh Lord, why have you done this?
Yeah, why
did you unleash and let Satan do his job?"
Right.
Well, because you are not righteous. You don't care. You desire to destroy. Right? Think about all the child molestation in Hollywood. Think about all the rape, all these women that came about getting raped in Hollywood. Right? Think about how many kids are getting raped. They're talking about grown women 40 years later. Yeah, but when were they getting raped? 18, 19, 17, 16.
Younger than that.
How many children?
Yeah.
Right?
And by these big Hollywood execs. So now these fires, Satan is like, yeah, I'm going to get y'all.
Because that's his job.
I'm going to let you live it up.
Right.
Get comfy.
Right.
And I'm going to burn your house down.
Burn your house down, exactly.
Dang.
Yeah, and we know they take pride in their insurance. But listen, they take pride in their insurance like, I got insurance.
I'll write it off.
Yeah, but you know what? The Most High is still breaking their pride down to show them anytime I can take this away from you.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead. Read.
Fire and hell.
Right.
And famine.
Right. And famine. And we talk about this a lot. This is across the world.
Venezuela.
Right. Venezuela. Listen, America.
The
GMO. Famine. The GMO.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But who comes up with these things? You think a righteous man is sitting down and say, I'm gonna make everybody eat plastic. I'm gonna make this guy eat the roaches, all the stuff you were bringing out in class the other day.
Well,
I'm gonna crush up a bunch of roaches
and make protein bars. Well, we know, because what did a righteous man do when there was a famine?
Right.
Joseph.
Right.
Make sure it was enough to go and last through 7 years.
He didn't say we're gonna mix the horses and the pigs together
and have meat
and make some creation.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. So these are the things. This to show you it's of Satan. It's his time. And I know I'm segueing into this last and final point.
Real hard.
Go ahead. Rihanna.
And death. And all these were created for vengeance.
Right. For vengeance. Go ahead.
Teeth of wild beasts.
Right.
And scorpions.
Right.
Serpents. And the sword.
And the sword. So people getting bit by lions and bears coming out and, in your backyard. How did you get a bear or a lion or alligator in your backyard? You did something wrong. The Lord is angry because he's letting Satan punish you.
Yeah.
Punishing the wicked.
Right.
Because Satan is the accuser. He's going there and saying, listen, they don't love you. They don't care. Look at what they're doing to your anointed, to the chosen. And the Lord pulls back his care, his love.
You unleash that wrath.
And he says, get him.
Yeah. Just don't kill them all.
Right? Not yet.
'em.
Not yet. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So now we're understanding that, number 5, that the Lord controls Satan and his angels. He controls them.
Yeah, you know, going to church, I didn't learn this, man. I didn't learn that Satan had anything to do with God, but that God hated Satan.
Right.
And they fought.
Right.
That's it. And then they were battling for souls here on earth.
Right.
That's all you were taught in church, that there was a battle between your soul.
Right.
There's no battle between your soul. You get to choose,
No.
but the punishment or the blessing that's inflicted depends on what you choose.
The scriptures already say your soul is borrowed from the Most High.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
your soul is borrowed. What are you talking about? You're fighting for it. No, Satan can't have your soul.
Right.
It said you already bought with the price.
Yeah.
So see, all these religious things is because our people don't read the Bible and they don't go in there and see that. The fact is that go and just read Job alone. All these other precepts are ads, but Job alone will tell you that God controls this spiritual demon Satan.
It seems like they skipped that part though. They skipped the part where God says, go deal with Job.
Right, we're gonna go there.
Yeah,
wait, I got one more, right?
Yes, sir.
Go to Job what?
1 and 12.
Right, so we're still on fact number 5. Fact number 5, okay? So read that.
Job chapter 1 and verse 12.
Let's find out, read.
And the Lord said unto Satan,
Right.
Behold, all that he hath is in thy power.
Go ahead.
Only upon himself put not forth thy hand.
There you go. So if Satan was running rampant and doing what he wants to do, why does that scripture say what Ecclesiasticus just said?
Right.
That he sends forth, right?
Right.
Punishing the wicked, right?
Right.
Punishing the wicked or trying the righteous. Either way, the Most High can hold Satan back for your destruction. Hold him back from your death, right? Because we know that Job was held back from ultimate death. But every other thing was able to be touched by Satan.
Can I get one
Yeah.
right on that?
Yes, sir.
Go to Job 2 and verse 6.
Yeah.
Job 2 and verse 6.
Yeah.
Job chapter 2 and verse 6.
Yeah, because it goes right in. Read that.
Yeah.
And the Lord said unto Satan,
Go ahead.
Behold, he is in thy hand.
Yeah, the Lord said, listen, it's out of my hands now. He's in your hands.
Right.
You deal with him, but there's a stipulation.
But save his life.
But do what?
But save his life.
Yeah, he says save his life. So he gave him the order to destroy the things around him,
Yeah.
but not to kill Job himself.
Right.
So, we're seeing, I
Satan's
love
not
it.
running rampant.
Satan is not a rogue agent. This
Right.
ain't Rogue Nation.
Right.
This is not do what you want. I'm Satan, I'm the man. This ain't that.
All right, we got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and go into the final fact. Okay, the final fact this is Satan's kingdom here on earth now. Where are we at?
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain.
Yep.
And showeth himself all the kingdoms of the world.
He showeth him all the kingdoms of the world. Read.
And the glory of them.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto him, All these things will I give thee.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
All these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Right. And he has the power now. It's his time. Go to Job 9:24, quick.
And how can you give something if you don't have ownership and possession of it?
He has power.
Yeah.
It said the wicked prosper in this world. Right. Come on, go to Job 9:24.
9:24.
Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
It's his time to rule. And how does he rule? He rules through the wicked people. Okay? So go from there, go to 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. Just to show
2 Corinthians
that
4
it's
and verse
Satan's time to rule in this earth. 6 fact. Go ahead.
In whom the God of this world hath blinded.
Wait. And who?
The God of this world.
Right, because this world is ruled by the wicked. Go ahead. And how did he rule?
Hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
There you go. And the ones that don't believe in the true God, the God of this world blinds the minds of the people. And that God is Satan, and he works through the wicked. Okay? So now we're understanding 6 facts about Satan that a lot of people don't know about Satan.
It's a lot of heavy information.
Yeah.
Very, very good class. Brothers and sisters, we thank y'all for joining us once again. Remember to like, share, subscribe our YouTube page. We have the 5 Minutes of Wisdom. We have the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge.
Yeah.
We have the ISBHPK. You can catch us live on Facebook.
Right.
All right. Remember, classes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday from 10 to 2. We'd like to say shalom.
Shalom.